Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Hey everybody, welcome to Freed on Business. Sorry we're 15, 16 minutes late. I'm going to blame it all on LinkedIn because they deserve it. We've been trying to get our live stream set up on LinkedIn, but it hasn't been cooperative. We've also been having video problems with LinkedIn. So Reagan in the next week is going to drill down and ask him what's going on, and we'll try to have the LinkedIn stuff back up next week. And if it doesn't come up, well, we'll just move our efforts over to the Google platform, YouTube, and let Google and YouTube promote us like they want to and have been asking to for years. I get these $150 credits on YouTube all the time. So maybe I'm going to do that. In the meantime, let's all be secure. It's our tech show with Andreas Senie. Andreas, our technology expert. He is the founder of the Real Estate Collaborative up there in cyberspace. He's the person that gets all the different platforms to your fingertips and helps you be most efficient. We're on with our cybersecurity expert, Darren Hayes, whose notes from his last appearance are still on my table. I haven't even gotten the direct feed on the Ethernet into my computer, but I did listen, Darren.
Right.
Okay, so here we are today in our unsecure universe as we continue to get hacked and pillaged. We can talk about the Apple app and everything else and all the impacts on our social media security. But Andres, what do you want to talk about?
First, thank you, Dr. Hayes, for coming back on the show as always and being one of our newest partners over at Creco. Cybersecurity and real estate, it's a real issue. It's a growing issue. And what I really want to talk about today are the ways we can move forward across our retail, travel, hospitality, and most importantly, financial services as an interconnected ecosystem. It's the most dangerous thing in the world, right here. Absolutely, as you return to work.
Right there. And I don't really know how to protect it. And I guarantee you that there's some person in there watching me. First thing I want to do is just get cleaned up and everything. So we're gonna talk about Warren Henry, then we're gonna come right back, and Dr. Hayes is going to talk about protecting us everywhere and realizing that we can be successful nowhere. So it's really all about trying as best we can. Am I right, Doctor?
Absolutely.
God bless you. I love you. We'll be back. Mr. Mendoza, play some music and make people happy. Everybody, I want to remind everybody that we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. See, I can handle anything. All right. We've been on for many, many years, since 2008. And our main sponsor, Warren Henry's been with us since 2012. I guess we sell a couple of cars for them, but I truly do love them as people. And I think that they are incredible stewards of our community. Thank you to Warren, Larry, Eric, Samantha, all the people over there that make it happen. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Down in the Keys, they sell all the nameplates. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. I'm going to go to one of those two stores, take a look, and I'll probably still end up buying my Infiniti, just like Larry says every time. What do all those cars have in common? Well, they're great cars. They all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. That means you get complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and a 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 days to make sure you love your Warren Henry vehicle. You will. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, and lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best service, always the best price, always Warren Henry. It's starting to sound like Rebecca on that, it's like every it always sounds like Rebecca. Hey, everybody, give me a call. Bring some great energy to your real estate deal. Me and my partner from New York can bring all kinds of creative solutions to your doorstep. I just did an incredible memory care deal. That's right, another memory care deal. I'm the man, the myth, and the legend. That's not so bad, is it? And so call me if you need creative capital. And guess what? I've got a really famous person that I can't talk about, and I'm doing a first mortgage for them. They make money in a way that, I can't talk about that either. So I'm trying to thread the eye of the needle. And guess what? I just may be able to. So give me a call. Maybe you're a foreigner, you need some cash. Maybe you're from out of town and you'd like to lever up the home you bought all cash because you had to close quick. Or maybe you're just a friend that has a complicated situation and you don't have a W-2. We got to use your tax returns. But give me a call. If it's complicated, I could probably help you through it. And how do you get me? You dial me at 305-773-6300. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
I'm back, and we're here to talk cybersecurity. It's a big issue. I don't know right now if somebody's watching me through my computer. If they are, they're saying, what a smart, handsome guy. We're here with Darren Hayes. Dr. Hayes is our cybersecurity expert. My co-host on our tech shows is Andreas Senie. He's the founder of the Real Estate Collaborative, based up in the cloud and helping people all across the country access technology and do deals and make money. Andreas, welcome back to the show. Dr. Hayes, thanks for joining us.
Great. Thank you. Great to be here.
So last time, part one, we started talking about infrastructure with Olivia and the infrastructure of your buildings. And everybody's starting to return to work now. Jim, you were out for coffee. Dr. Hayes, you're out with your students. And I want to point out how many places and opportunities there are to be exposed. Jim, you're talking about people watching you on your phone, and you bet there are. There are programs and data being collected from you at every turn. Dr. Hayes, jump in. But as I return to work for the first time, let's say in New York City, and I go into that office, I stop for coffee, I connect to free Wi-Fi. I use my phone to pay for my coffee, my passport. And I get to the building and I use my phone to wave in through this smart entrance, which for COVID, this is the rage, keyless entry. And now I'm in the building, and what happens? I mean, what has just happened? How exposed have I been on this route?
50 billion data points from the minute you got up.
That's right. But where? How did they get all that data?
Right there. Okay. My favorite conspiracy theory is that Bill and Melinda are watching everybody through computer chips that they put in our body. No, they're watching you here. Softball, Dr. Hayes.
Yeah, so I would say that because so many people have been working remotely, people have been changing their homes, living in new homes or their second home. And when you're not there at your first home, what do? You have your cheap webcam that you look at through your phone. And the problem is that those devices for $10, $20, $30 are not very secure. And people don't update the firmware. And so there's websites like Shodan where people can actually go and connect remotely to your webcam very easily.
Hold on right there. So you're telling me that Lars from New Zealand can go on whatever program? Can he put in like an address? Like a street address? How does that work?
So Shodan allows you to pick a particular area, and it allows you to see all of the unsecured IoT devices, meaning all of those cameras that you have in your home that you didn't change the password for, or easy to guess those passwords. And so it's very easy to connect to those unsecured cheap cameras that come from, across the continent, or maybe in Asia that that's where they make them.
Ring,
Yeah. Yep. Ring has been in the news. Yeah.
So now I'm advertising that my kid's alone in the house, or that my wife's alone in the house. Then what?
Well, first of all, it's very easy to gain reconnaissance. If you want to break into a home, connect to that remote camera, see if there's anyone at home, and then you've got your target. Then you can go on to maybe Zillow.com. You can take a look and see how much that property is worth. Is it worth robbing? Those kinds of things, it's
then
very...
I can look at the aerial. I can see where to break in, how to access the property, where the light is, where the light's not. Oh my God, I'm a criminal.
Yeah, there's Google Street View, so you can take a look and you can look from the street how it looks.
What kind of car I could steal while I'm there?
Yep, because very often those have the car.
Question. So there's a program about the cars too, right?
Well, yeah, but when you look, you can see those cars very often from those Google images, right? So we can see whether that person has a nice Mercedes or a Lexus.
Bluetooth and they're searching, it'll come up on my phone. Bobby's Volvo.
Exactly. Another thing that you can do is, so everybody leaves this location services on with your phone. Well, not you, Jim. but many people do. And then every time you tweet with Twitter or you upload to Facebook, you're actually pinging your location. And there are programs out there that will tell me in real time when you are uploading to social media if you have your location services on. So I know whether you're home or whether you're not home.
So really what I'm hearing is vigilance and security, defense. Your defense has to be
impossible. What I'm hearing is it's impossible to close all the doors and that you just need to really be vigilant and complete. And I'll say it this way, is that it sounds like the same thing for a company. You just have so many doors and eventually they're going to break down the door and get in. You just got to always be putting up doors, new doors. Is that what you guys do?
Yeah, I mean that's what I could see. If there's not a lot of activity on social media from that building, chances are you're probably not there, right? Everybody's working remotely.
Well, take it further as the buildings institute HVAC
How about this? How many phones are at that location working off the IP server? Oh God, am I that stupid or am I that smart?
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
Well, and HVAC, smart heating, if they're turning down, a lot of owners are optimizing their building to save cost. So if an office is not there.
I can break in, turn off the air conditioning in the summer, everybody leaves, and then I can go in. Oh, my God.
There's one. Or the heat's turned down, the air conditioning's turned down because nobody's there already. They're on a retreat. There's so much intelligence to be gathered. And the
water meters as well, like a water meter on the side of a house or a building could tell you kind of the activity in that building.
Yeah.
Okay, so now Dr. Hayes scared us. Dr. Hayes scared us, and we're going to take a quick break. I'm going to talk about Warren Henry Automobiles, and then we're going to come right back, and we're going to find out what you can do to protect your data. Life. Protect your you-know-what. Everybody's got one, and it's broken in half. Reagan, play some music. We're South Florida's longest running business talk show. We've been on since 2008. We've had Warren Henry as a sponsor since 2012. They are tremendous. For many years, they've been helping me broadcast positive energy into the community. And I got to tell you, one of the reasons that the show started late today was because I needed to get there. We all have bad days. It's just, you can admit it. And I had to reconnect. I had to make a couple jokes with Andreas and Dr. Hayes, and I was back on the beam. You go, how'd you get back on the beam? I surrounded myself with people that believe in me and they help me feel better. That's just a tip. That's not an ad. Okay. You want a tip? That's the one thing you need from today. The other thing you need from today is if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you got to get every advantage that you can. Woo, smooth, right? Make sure you go out And check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're all great cars. I'm actually going up there this weekend. Vivian's looking for a new car. We're going to go get Vivian a new car this weekend or next weekend. They're all exceptional cars. We've got Jaguar up there too at 155th and 151st and Biscayne. Down in the Keys, they've got everything. Up in Gainesville, they've got Audi. What do all those cars have in common? They're great cars. They all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. The Warren Henry Advantage is this long list of things that I read every week, but I actually use from time to time. Complimentary service loaner all the time. Dynamic wheel protection all the time. They buff up things that you when you ride on the curve there. Key replacement. They help me with a key. You know how much it costs to replace one of those automatic keys? Like $100. Guaranteed purchase offer. Didn't use that. I just trade them in with them. Best value guarantee. That's why I trade them in with them. 72-hour exchange. 3 full days to evaluate your car. If you like it, you're going to like your car. Come on. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best service, always the best price, always Warren Henry.
Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
You can reach me, JAMFRIED, at 305-773-6300. Why would you possibly want to do that? Because you're dealing with a real estate issue that the people that you've been talking to can't help you with. I solve lots of real estate problems for some of the most wonderful people in the world. Give me a call. Usually I can do it in one phone call, sometimes two. Like today, I called up the president of the bank, talked to him about the loan that I needed. And when I was done, he said, hey, and by the way, would you mind if I was an investor in that? Why did he do that? Because he knows me and he trusts me. So give me a call at 305-773-6300. I will shoot it straight with you. I don't have time to BS, and neither do you. So call me. Why? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Hi, that's me. I'm Jim Freed. I'm the host today. My co-pilot is Andreas Senie, and we've got Dr. Darren Hayes. He's our cybersecurity expert. What we know is that our you-know-what's hanging out there all day long. There's only so much you can do to cover it, and your footprints are everywhere. So don't commit a crime. They'll know what you did probably before you did. Dr. Hayes, welcome back. Andres, flipping to you. What do we do about all this if we live with all these sniffers and snoopers?
Well, the CRE sector needs to be aware and prepared for three major things: personal data, attack on tenants through their buildings as we get interconnected buildings, and then destruction of the physical infrastructure through technology, HVAC systems.
Has this ever happened to you, Andreas?
Yes, $40,000, $50,000 worth of damage. Personally, my personal life was breached and emotionally destabilizing as it was. I was lucky enough to be in a place where good people like Dr. Darren Hayes and others, the systems that were there kicked in and brought me back. It still took a week.
Listen, the other question is, let's talk about it from an emotional standpoint. Okay, I think that's important. How did you feel?
Devastated. Going to the Stone Ages sounds fun. It is not. I can honestly tell you.
Not Stone Ages. How about the way that it made you feel that somebody could take what you had, take it away from you, hold it away from you, manipulate you and do it in a way that was not nice?
Well, the emotionally destabilizing effects of being hacked are long lasting. If my computer doesn't boot up as fast as it should, I'm questioning, everything. So it becomes a past crisis.
It's PTSD what you have. It's PTSD. You were raped. Somebody took something from you that was very intimate. Then they did something to you after they took it.
That's the simple fact of it all. The damage
against humanity.
The biggest damage of that hack was I lost my wedding photos. Everything's in the cloud digitally. So I lost my memories, good memories that we just had stored.
No, you didn't lose your memories. You lost the physical representation of your memories.
Correct. And that was a travesty. Some of those friends I don't have anymore. Those pictures were all that was left.
Horrible. Okay, yeah. I have a physical storage space, a physical one. What's in there? My tchotchkes from all the years and all that other stuff. Do I ever need them? No. Do I ever look at them? No. Are they there and keep me comfy? Yes. I'm surrounded by my history if I want. That's what it is. So, Dr. Hayes, how did you help Andreas once he got raped?
Well, basically, how to reset systems, how to buy new. Sometimes you just got to buy new hardware. You got to start from scratch again. You got to really think about how your personal data. It's not just when you go to your workplace that you have to think about security. It's in your personal life, because people, just reading this report here, Google have, looked at passwords, and 52% of passwords are reused, from your social media accounts to what you use at work. That's the first problem. The second thing,
they're all unique. Drives me crazy. If I lose the book, I go forgot password.
Exactly.
It's not on a cloud. It's right here.
And doxing attacks. Think about a doxing.
Say what that is, because people don't know.
Sure, a doxing attack is, and it's happened to police, for example, who've been at some of these protests. They will take the police commissioners, hack into their email, put all their emails online, put all their personal information, their kids' names, their bank account numbers, their
I'm sure they're going to do it
online
during the campaign. I'm sure Nikki Fried is going to have that done to her during the campaign.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
That happens.
Anybody that's high profile, that's going to happen to them. Anybody. Didn't that happen like Bill Gates last year?
Yeah, so just think about that. If your email is hacked and all your emails are put online, maybe you should think about deleting some of those older emails that you have. Right?
The ones with the weird photos, especially.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just really I don't have any of those. Somebody could go dive on my. I'm holding it now. I don't care.
Sure.
Since I was 17, I've always worked hard to operate like whatever I was going to do would be on the front page of the newspaper. So I really work hard to be above board and to be true to my personal brand. And I'd say if I do something stupid, I did it over the weekend. I'm paying a price, but it wasn't something. Look, if it was on the front page of the paper, I just go, sorry, I'm an idiot. But it's not crap out of somebody or taking their data or something like that.
Well, sometimes it's not even that. It's more a case of your business dealings, and those kinds of emails, that you got to be very careful with that. Yeah.
Well, that's business dealings. When you talk about that, if somebody paid somebody to snoop on, I'll make it up, a big developer in town to find out what their pipeline was and what their offers were going to look like and what they were saying internally, then they'd know how to bid against them and win.
Or if they manipulated the plans, the orders, get the wrong concrete, get substandard materials.
Wow.
It goes on and on. If you go on the dark web, you can see ads for hire a hacker to destroy somebody's career for $50.
No way.
Yep.
It's being above board. You have to be above board in your business, as you should be. But even if you do everything right, when things when disaster strikes, which is what we're talking about,
that
that only works so far. I had that. I had 3 of those.
Reset.
But you need more than just one backup plan, right?
I have 2 of those.
It's about people. At the end of the day, it's being smart, common sense, knowing people, having the right people around you, as you said before, Jim.
I think it would be really nice, Andreas, if we could work with Dr. Hayes to put out like a 10-point thing, social media wise, Dr. Hayes's 10 easy steps to keeping your butt covered. I mean, something like that, Dr. Hayes, I think would go a long way. I'd put it up on LinkedIn and everything and pound it and circulate it. Dr. Hayes puts up a post like that.
Sure.
We talk about it, but I still think that people need to see it. I'm
absolutely. I can help with that. One thing I would just
last one. Here's all done right there.
Okay, here's one.
Time to implement it. So they should be like in the order from it should be the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments. It starts with turn off one's location identifier, which I don't know how to do. The next one is, can I do something with them if I do that? Because sometimes they don't let you. They always puke up and go, locational accuracy is improved if Wi-Fi is activated. Oh, I hate that.
So here's one simple tip during the pandemic. I don't know about in Florida, but if you've been to restaurants or bars and you see those QR codes and people scan them, so hackers could take a sticker, put their sticker over that, and suddenly you're redirected to a website with malware. Suddenly you got malware on your phone. So just read a regular menu.
Oh my God.
Put alcohol in your hands after. Better than that.
Oh my God. God, where do you come up with this stuff? We'll be right back to listen to more of this stuff to scare the bejesus out of you with Dr. Hayes and I'll have to call him this, Dr. Senie. And of course, Dr. Mendoza plays the music, which he's going to do now. Jim Freed. I love saying that. That's really me. It's not an avatar. It's not a cartoon. It's really me. In college, they called me Jimmy Freed. You could, if you want to. Now, we're South Florida's longest running business talk show. It's true. Our friends at Warren Henry have been supporting us since 2012. It's true. I've been using the same exact piece of paper. If you didn't believe it, there it is. And I want to tell you, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, I just love these people. They make me feel so good whenever I go there. When you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. Oh, this week is Supercar Saturday. Meet me out at that Pembroke Lakes place and let's go look at the funny cars. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. They're all great cars. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, they sell them all. What do they have in common? They're all great cars. They come with the Warren Henry advantage. That means you get complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, the 72-hour exchange. Make sure to join me, my beautiful wife, my great mom. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. Call me, Jim Freed, if I can help. I can help you with all kinds of real estate, residential and commercial. People call me with problems. I've got people that are absolutely considered non-bankable getting loans from banks. So call me at 305. Yeah, you like that part, didn't you, Andreas? Call me at 305-773-6300. Why? For instance, this morning I was on with the president of the bank. He was telling me how their policy was evolving on certain things that other people didn't know about. I asked him about a business loan, too. He said, yeah, we could probably do that, too. So call me. I know who to call. It usually only takes me one phone call to get you the right information so you can make the best business decision. In fact, it's my favorite thing to say, well, it's time to make a business decision. So call me at 305-773-6300. Please let me help you make better decisions. Why call me? Because when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Okay, sometimes I like to talk about some of my biggest fears. So let's talk about one of my biggest fears right after I reintroduce our guests. You've got Andreas Senie. He's the founder of the Crypto AI, the real estate collaborative, where you can get all kinds of great software and information. And well, that's where you can do all your stuff and feel like one of the big boys by being on your own. Then we've got Dr. Hayes. Dr. Hayes is on. He's a cybersecurity expert that helps us protect ourselves. And now I'm going to talk about what scares me the most. Well, not the most, but big thing. I'm driving down the car. Thank you, Andreas. You could read that if you want.
Driving down the road in the car.
I'm driving down the car on my way back home from the hemp farm. It's 3:30 in the afternoon and all the crazies are on the road. And suddenly some guy's car starts acting erratically and he hits somebody. Maybe he's not controlling his own car. That ties up traffic for the entire region. If it happens at 3:30 in a certain location, costs the region millions of dollars. And some kid did it for fun or not. Maybe it was some other region maybe it was somebody from Texas and knew that we were showing some new business Florida. And the guy was worried about traffic in Florida. So some guy hired a hacker to make him drive in traffic in Miami. Strange? Yes. Off the charts? Not really. Something some guy might do, or lady, you never know. So really, Dr. Hayes, is there a way to protect ourselves at that elemental level, the automobile?
Yeah, car hacking is a really big problem. And in a few years, people aren't going to have keys. They're going to be unlocking their cars with this device, which means the hackers are going to have a field day with getting into cars. So the other thing I just mentioned is if there are accidents, there's many ways to prove what was going on, so we can see if somebody was on TikTok or videoing with their phone at the time of the crash. Every car today has a black box. It's mandated by the federal government. So you can see if at the time of the accident, if somebody was wearing a seatbelt, how fast they were going, lots and lots of diagnostic information. But also, there's also that Android dashboard system that most cars have today, where you can pull lots of information about people and their activity on their phone. So if you connect with that dash with your Bluetooth, there's lots of information that we can pull. Vehicle forensics is huge today.
Oh, let me tell you, is that, I don't care if mentioning your name, Allstate. Allstate used to have the plug-in, not enough information. Now how do they do it? They want you to sign your phone up. Guess what my answer to that is? Because once they sign my phone up, they have everything. Everything. You think you're going to read that confidentiality statement? I guarantee you that allows them to access every app on my phone. Dr. Hayes, thoughts?
Yeah, the way that you can identify how fast somebody is going is the time it takes to move from one cell tower to another. Yeah. So, there's lots of ways that you can be identified where you are. Location can be identified by Bluetooth, by cell towers, GPS, your Wi-Fi connections that you come in contact with, all of those things. Even if you don't connect to a Wi-Fi connection, it's continually being recorded, every single Wi-Fi connection.
It's like when that plane disappeared over the Pacific. It still sends out an automated ping every so often just to be connected to the system, to tell the system it's still activated.
Yep. Your Starbucks app, your Dunkin' Donuts app, they do the same thing, continually looking at your location.
And selling it.
Yeah, you've got to be careful and read those privacy policies.
Yeah, you see, I was thinking about this yesterday. No, I was, because I got hit. I filed a claim. After this, I'm going to pick up my car, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking to myself, that person knows everything. And I'm not even on their app because of what I said, but they still know everything. They know that person with their permission thing can go look where I was, see if I'm lying to them. That's why you never lie to anybody. Just don't lie. It's not worth it. Never lie. They can find out everything now. So I operate like I'm on the front page of the newspaper. Like I've got the TV camera for the city news right on me. Doesn't make me happy, doesn't make me feel good, but it does modify my behavior. And it's going to happen even more.
Yeah, my doctor, for example, he a slight bumper to bumper action took place and everybody was fine. And he happened to mention, I'm sorry, just on my way to the hospital. And then suddenly people had whiplash in the car and stuff like that. So people who have those MDs on their plates, they might be sued, but it's very easy also to get a credit report on somebody. $25-$50 gives you a credit report, and people are looking at those things to see if you're worth suing. They will look on Zillow to see how much your house is worth, So unfortunately, that's the world that we live in.
So there's people stalking rich people to create incidents with those people so that they can grift them.
It's a problem.
Unbelievable. Andreas, my favorite victim.
Let's say favorite survivor.
So I'm going to go through this. I'm going to talk about the price, okay? You're a person where your online system is very valuable to you. What did you physically have to replace? You don't have to be exact, okay? But you talked about computers. Let me rephrase it. I'm going to ask a different question. Dr. Hayes, let's say somebody gets their universe blown up. What do they have to go replace? Sorry, Andreas, I didn't mean to ask it that way. Yeah, well, what is the universe?
I would say the very first thing that you do is file a police report. Make sure you file a police report. And the reason I say that is I was a victim of identity theft, and about $800,000 worth of charges were run up against my name. And so when, I got a call from Home Depot about this corporate account that was set up in my name for tens of thousands of dollars, the first thing they asked about, well, if you're saying this, did you file a police report? And I say, yes, I filed a police report. Here's the police report number. And they will ask you that. So that is the very first thing that you do. But put a freeze on all your credit report accounts. Even if it's a hacking event, just be cautious, because may go after your credit history and ruin that. And
I have the monitor service.
Yes.
It's a pain in the butt, but I don't see how you do it otherwise.
Absolutely. I keep a freeze in my account all the time now. So, but you've got to be careful. As Andreas mentioned, your computer is running a little bit slower. It could be you have malware. One of the big things today is even cryptojacking. People who are mining Bitcoin, for example, they are able to use the computing power in your browser or your actual computer to mine that Bitcoin. So very often we're part of what are called botnets, which are robotic networks, and we're helping to create a proxy service for somebody in Ukraine or Russia, but we don't think about it because our computer's just running a little slower than it usually does.
How do you notice that? How can you check that? Do you have to go Control Alt Delete and watch your system? I can't believe.
Well, I haven't checked it recently, but I can tell you that Microsoft did have a checker online where you could go to Microsoft and you could see if there's a botnet running on your computer. So you're part of a botnet. So there are ways to check that.
Oh, send me that link. Let's put that one up. So Andreas, you got your world hijacked. Tell me about how disruptive that was and what you did. I'm doing this to show how important Dr. Hayes' stuff is.
No, look, it's good to have it to relate. The fact was, most people, and I'm included here, I had my name as my iCloud email, which was also my phone email at the time. They got into my personal email to gain access to my phone, got into my cloud, so I lost my phone. So they had cloned with an IMEI number, so the phones had to go. Then I lost my cloud, which was my backup in the cloud. Then I had physical backups, redundancies. and other steps I needed to take. But once they get into one device, they hop from one to the next. So any device that is connected has to be reviewed, has to be looked at, sometimes has to go into evidence. Dr. Hayes will tell you. So all of a sudden, you're not thinking about it, but I counted 40-something devices easily between my personal life and my business and my family that had been compromised, could be compromised, of which 20 went in the trash. And your bank sends you a text to verify who you are.
Yes.
Dr. Hayes will tell you texting is not secure. A bad actor can grab that text out of the air from you.
Yeah,
so then what do you do?
I just got paid, and the title company made me verify it 3 different times to make sure they didn't get a bad address. Listen,
somebody in the middle didn't change the numbers. All of a sudden, your money's gone quickly.
Gone. Yep. So listen, we're going to talk. We'll have one more segment, and we'll talk about things that people should look for, things that people can do, and is there a service that they could hire that could audit them and help them out? Reagan, rock the house. Everybody, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. That's right, Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Down in the Keys, they sell all the nameplates. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audi. What do all those products have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry advantage. That means you get complimentary service loaner, dynamic wheel protection, key replacement, guaranteed purchase offer, best value guarantee, and the 72-hour exchange. You can take 3 days to make sure you like your Warren Henry car. Guess what? You will. So join me, my mom, and my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry.
Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
That's right. You heard Dr. Hayes. She has a top 10. We got to get yours together now. Hi, I'm Jim Freed. I do the podcast, been doing it for many, many years, got lots of great friends, got lots of good connections. Let me put them to work for you. Call me at 305-773-6300 because every time you call me, I make it about you. I'm doing all kinds of hard to do jumbo mortgages. I just got a daughter of one of my clients cleared to close. The woman hasn't worked ever. Great life. I've got all kinds of clients in the resi side, the commercial side. I just did my biggest deal ever, $90 million. So give me a call, 305-773-6300. Why? Because when you call me, it's all about you. Oops, I just gave out my number.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Hi, I'm Jim Freed, and I sit here violating all of Dr. Hayes' laws all day long. So really, The question is, how can a person that does business protect themselves? And do you need somebody to come in and give you guidelines in an audit? Dr. Hayes, what do you think?
Definitely. I think that you need somebody who can come in and look at a whole range of security for your organization, even your personal security. So somebody who can think of ways to gain access to your building, for example, somebody who has that type of experience, how they would get into your accounts. Take a look at your online presence and come up with a list of potential passwords that may have been leaked out there. There's tools that I can use to, for example, take a look at some of your corporate documents and see where they are online. So one of the big problems today, a couple of problems. One is these data dumps where people will put all of your personal information out there, or your sensitive corporate.
Had it happen last week at the University of Miami Health System. They sent me a letter. They offered to give me credit protection.
Yeah, there's Pastebin, there's Slexy, there's Just Paste It. So there's many of these like sites where people can anonymously dump all this information. And then there's other websites where people dump downloads of passwords. So you mentioned LinkedIn before. So LinkedIn was hacked, and the hackers put all of the usernames, logins, and passwords out there for everybody to see. So it's a learning lesson that people reuse these passwords, but let's see what passwords are out there. You go to I've Been Pawned, and it's PWNED. This will tell you, put in your email address. It will tell you what breaches your email address showed up in. Have I been pawned? Yep.
I just wrote that down, as you plainly saw. Not that I could really do anything about it. I mean, let's say I'm on the list. What can I do?
Make sure that you have changed your password for that service. That's the first thing that you do. Checking your credit report is really important. Although it's not a cybersecurity thing, take a look at your credit report. If you see a phone number shown up there that is not associated with you, or an additional address that is not associated with you, could be that your credit has been compromised. Another thing, check your bank. So, for example, I had a situation where somebody debited 9 cents from my account and then credited back. So somebody would look at that and say, oh, that's not a big deal. That's somebody testing your account to see if they can gain access. And suddenly the next thing, a 2,000 deduction was made from my account, and I had to call them up about this. I did call them about the 9 cents initially, but nothing was done. So be careful about those kinds of small transactions.
Wow. Woo. So let's say somebody wanted to get a personal audit of their vulnerabilities and have suggestions made on how to limit their vulnerabilities. How long does something like that take, and how much does something like that cost?
Well, generally, it all depends whether it's something you want to look at your personal information or your organization. Some of these audits, can be very, very effective. For example, working surreptitiously. So maybe, coming in contact with some of your employees, talking to them, talking to them at a bar, even talking to people beside them on an airplane, And what we can do is then go back and hand a report to the CEO and say, here's what we were able to determine about your company. We know all the hardware and all the software that you're running, all the systems that you're running. These are your vulnerabilities. Now here's what you need to do to limit your risk, mitigate your risk.
So first you do an intrusion, and then you show how to stop it. Exactly.
And some people are a little bit apprehensive as what, particular as you can imagine, the IT guys at your company won't like this kind of, assessment. But, you got to make them understand that this is,
nobody's perfect. Nobody's
exactly.
perfect.
I'm not perfect
I'm
either.
Certainly not the smartest person on the universe.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
So, I love you, but let's give you some help.
Exactly.
No, that's tremendous. Andres, let's wrap up. What do you think we learned today?
Vigilance, awareness, and a recovery plan are the 3 takeaways here. You have to be vigilant in every aspect of your life. You need to be aware of changes, especially on your computers, your different devices. And then what is your recovery plan? Do a fire drill, digital fire drill.
Oh,
you have one?
Oh.
Because you need one.
So
take it from
because it's so obvious, so easy to address, but
so it's locking your front door. Not everyone does it.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
It makes it like so overreachingly concerning that you say the heck with it. And that's what they're counting on, right?
Yep, exactly. And as Andreas mentioned before, backups are important. So, those important memories that are missing now, think about how you're going to back up all of your information. Sometimes it means even printing off stuff and putting it in a safe or a fireproof safe box. That's what I do. All my important documents, I have photocopies and pictures. Keep them in there. Keep your most valuable things offline as well.
Oh, people in Florida have learned that over the years. Tornado Alley. This is just another natural disaster is getting hacked.
Yeah.
People are naturally dirtbags. So I think that the real takeaway here is to realize that you're always exposed, that everybody that you meet could be a bad actor. You'll never know. And that the best offense is to play defense. How do I sum it up there, Dr. Hayes? Is that pretty good?
Perfect. Excellent.
Oh my gosh. I'm getting an A in PhD Protect Your Butt. Well, listen, I want to thank everybody for being on the show today. Dr. Hayes, how do people find you if they want to get more information? You're going to put out your top 10, I hope.
Sure, absolutely. Or Hayes at codedetectives.com. So they could reach me there anytime.
Oh my gosh, Hayes at codedetectives.com. What a great email. I'll bet you have a couple of stealth ones too. Andreas, if people want to learn how to connect, research, execute, and collaborate online through one platform, where should they go?
Creco.ai, CREcollaborative.com. We are what we do. We're the commercial real estate collaborative. That's Creco.ai. And you can always call us because we're traditionalists, 203-307-2242. That is not a cell phone, Dr. Hayes. That's a landline.
You know what else? You know what else? The reality is that people need more clarity in working together online. And as there's more and more obfuscation and difficulty in seeing clearly, places like Creco AI are providing an incredible service, especially for me. I'm loving what they're doing for me. I mean, they're giving my social just an incredible boost. We'll talk about that again in the future. Maybe we'll bring Rebecca on and talk about that. Dr. Hayes, I look forward to seeing you at the house behind you, your dream home.
It's always great to be on the show. Thanks so much for the invitation, Jim.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Your information's tremendous. I wish I could only do one thing of it to be better, So I guess I got to start giving out a landline. Andreas just taught me. I got a good one. I can give it out. Only problem is I never pick it up. All right. This is Jim Freed for Freed on Business. I want to thank our guest, Dr. Darren Hayes. We made him laugh, so we know he had a good time. Andreas Senie, always there helping me run the show on Tech Day. He is tremendous. Make sure to go to Creco AI to connect, research, execute, collaborate online through one platform. It's a great place. I use the service. I want to send a shout out to all our first responders. I want to give a high five to Reagan Mendoza and our friends at Deep Blocks. Warren Henry Automotive, God bless him. Creco AI, Carlson Integrated, Turkel Brands, the Bergstrom Center for Real Estate Studies, all great sponsors, all great parts of the program. The biggest part of the program is you. Thank you to our listener, my favorite person. Please go to I got to say it, Dr. Hayes. Go to our Facebook page and all our other social outlets. Like our show. Please don't put me at risk. Join our community. Here's even more. Join our community. Give us feedback and comments. Tell us who you want to hear from. At Jim Freed, at Freed on Business, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, the website. If you missed today's show, it'll be up real soon. We got to slap LinkedIn on the wrist about this. I'm Jim Freed for Freed on Business. Look for us next week at noon. Why? Because I just love doing this stuff. Remember, the person who wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Reagan, rocket.